Hey guys, here's the GNUstep demo for the day. Hold on, let's see. Now, I want to demonstrate buildtool. Buildtool is basically a clone of the xcodebuild tool on the Mac. Buildtool allows you to just compile things that are written for the Mac. I mean, I have a lot of different little tests here that I use in order to allow me to, test functionality on GNUstep. And let's just try an interesting test here. As you can see, I mean, okay, now one thing that I need to mention about buildtool is sometimes when there are differences between how things work on GNUstep and how things work on the Mac, it's necessary to create a plist that codifies those differences, and buildtool.plist allows you to do that. And you can tell it what kind of build or how many concurrent operations. You can actually replace files, remap files. More on that later. But for now, I'm just going to delete this because I don't think that this was an experiment that I used for the parallel mode of buildtool, which is something I'm still working on. But anyway, okay, so this was written on the Mac. It has an Xcode project file. The GNU make file here is because I had used buildtool to actually generate it, but I'm removing that because I don't want you guys to think that that's being used, because it is not being used. Hold on. So is this storyboard test info plist. So let's try to get back to a raw state here. Build and object. Okay. So now we don't have the app, we don't have anything, any kind of build artifacts or anything like that. And as you can see, we do have a bunch of code here. These error files were created by an early version of buildtool. So we have a storyboard, which is recent functionality in GNUstep. Like last 6 months, I added the ability to read storyboards. So I mean, in the GUI library, but not. Sorry, man, I can't type today. But you can't read them yet in GORM, but that is future functionality as well. Now for the main event, we just type. All you do is type buildtool in a directory that has an Xcode project, and it just builds it. And you don't need to worry about, usually you don't need to worry about changing code or anything like that. Everything is put into the build folder, under products, and you can go to your storyboard, your app here, and and then we have it running. Hold on, let me grab it here and bring it into view. So as you can see, we have a storyboard app here that it shows all of its views. And hold on, this one is modal, so brings up its window. These are all defined in the storyboard. I think this one might actually bring up a popover, which doesn't appear on screen, but yeah, or at least in my thing here, it's down the bottom of the screen. But okay, so external. Now this is an external storyboard. So the storyboard that defines this window has a reference to this window, and it loads it just like it's normal. Okay, so now we quit this. I'm going to show you guys a more complex application, and this is using a build file that came from a long time ago, because of course It is the chess application by Next. And that was actually ported to, I think, 10.4 or 10.2. Now, buildtool can use Xcode projects that are anytime after, I think, Xcode like 4 or 5. So it's pretty tolerant as far as, building tools that are, building applications that are pretty darn old. So let's see. So ported apps, games, and yes, we have Next Go. All right, I think I used this to test before, so I'm going to delete the build file. And so as you can see, this has a somewhat different layout than the storyboard application because it basically just, is an older version of Xcode. So here we go. And as you can see, it's, well, yeah, unexpected. I'll have to look into that. This did build before. Interesting. Well, this is why it's beta software. Anyway, okay, so, well, let's try something else here. There is a utility called Bean. Which was, for a while, an application that, was used as a word processor. Right now, this version suffers from problems in the differences between GNUstep's, typesetting layer and Cocoa's typesetting layer. They're different, as you might expect. Cocoa's is much more complicated than ours. Ours is fairly rudimentary. It does what it needs to do. It doesn't do much more than what it needs to do. And that's a good thing because it makes it a little faster, but it also means that applications that delve deeply into certain things that are undocumented may not work on GNUstep because, well, you can't depend on that functionality since it's not documented. But here we go. And we have build success. There we go. All right, now build. And you guys are gonna love this. There's Bean. It just works. So yeah, anyway, sweet, gotta love it. And this is completely built using buildtool. There are no GNU make files. I mean, there are GNU make files in this directory, but this didn't use them. And as I said, you can perturb or change different aspects of the build with buildtool.plist. Everything is available on GitHub, of course, under the at the GNUstep repository under libs-xcode, and that concludes my demo. Thank you. Oops, I have unsaved documents. Quit anyway. Bye, guys.